What is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more training camp highlights, news, notes, observations. But from day one of Eagles versus Browns, they have a game coming up in the next few days, and they're getting some work in. We have a lot of takeaways from this practice that I want to go over to you guys, or go over with you guys, and make sure you guys are kept up to date with everything that's going on with the Browns and the Eagles in another day of training camp here. But before we get into the video, do me a big favor, guys, and smash the like button just so we can help this video get out to more Browns and Philadelphia Eagles fans around the world. But also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, which includes signings, trades, preseason, regular season, training camp, everything you can think of. I've got you guys covered, so make sure you guys join the family if you haven't already done so. But without any further ado, let's jump into this video. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is a couple of guys who actually look pretty good in this game. Now, firstly, I want to talk about Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle. He just bursted onto the scene during this practice and was absolutely amazing, getting into the backfield, stopping big-time runs, pretty much just doing whatever it takes to disrupt some sort of Cleveland Browns offense, and that's what he pretty much did. He was, doing amazing, even against Joel Bitonio. He had a sack on what seemed to be the quarterback for the Browns, what would have been a sack. So I think Jalen Carter was one guy I really took away from this practice, or coming out of this practice saying, yeah, this dude looks good. This dude looks good. The Browns don't have a bad offensive line by any means. So the fact that he still produced versus a, not the best offensive line in the world is pretty, self-explanatory, I guess you could say. Now, there were some guys who were out for Cleveland or went out during practice. Myles Garrett ended up leaving with a foot injury. I don't think it's too serious. Denzel Ward got sick. Don't think it's too serious. And Jack Conklin had a little bit of a head injury. Hopefully he'll be okay. But overall, wasn't too much going on with the Cleveland Browns offense. Amari Cooper actually had a very tough day, dropped a couple of different passes, which made the Eagles secondary look even better than, maybe even played in this practice. But yeah, Amari Cooper struggled, definitely. Elijah Moore did not practice during the scrimmage versus the Eagles, or not scrimmage, whatever you want to call the practice. Elijah Moore wasn't there, so they were missing a lot of guys, so you kind of do got to take this with a grain of salt. But overall, a lot of players who stood out were seemingly on the Eagles roster. Reed Blankenship, he took all of the first team reps yet again and had an interception off a deflection by new linebacker Zach Cunningham, who just recently signed over here. But yeah, Reed Blankenship had an interception. Zach McPherson, I think he played mostly backup slot cornerback. A lot of fans getting his autographs after practice. Wasn't really too sure how big of a fan or player he was here in Philadelphia, but it seemed like a lot of fans did like having him over here. But he did have a amazing pass breakup, I think, versus Anthony Schwartz, who is a very fast wide receiver. McPherson kept up with them and got the ball away last second, so that was something I took note of. Derek Barnett was also having a pretty good practice. I think he did notch a sack on Deshaun Watson as well. So a lot of this Eagles team looked really, really good. Like I said, Amari Cooper did not look good for the Cleveland Browns. Eagles offensive line did not look good either. I feel like a lot of they were getting a lot of pressure in terms of the Browns were getting a ton of pressure off the edge and getting to the quarterback a little bit. Before Myles Garrett went out, him and Zadarius Smith made Jalen Hurts scramble a lot more than they'd probably like him to. So good thing for the Browns defensive line. I feel like they did a really good job pressuring the quarterback, making sure that he wasn't completely comfortable in the pocket the entirety of the practice. So that was a good thing I took note of for the Cleveland Browns. And then, Sua Opeta, he was, one of the main reasons that the Eagles' offensive line struggled a ton. I feel like the defensive line was getting to the quarterback from his side, so maybe he needs to maybe improve a little bit more. But it seemed like Josh Sills was, in there. He filled the spot, kind of took his spot over the second period of team drills. But overall, not a bad day here for the Eagles. I would say more of a rough day for the Cleveland Browns. I feel like they had a lot of struggles. They were missing a ton of different players, though. So I guess that is something to, note going forward. We'll see how they do in tomorrow's practice, which is today. And I will be covering that tomorrow. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. I will be dropping another day footage, some more highlights, some more observations from the next practice as well. So make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications, just so you're notified every time we post a video, every time we go live for a game. I will be streaming some Browns games, some Eagles games throughout the season, so make sure you guys are here for that as well. But let me know in the comment section down below, who is one player, either for the Eagles or for the Browns, that you think is starting to slowly break out here, during training camp, and who's someone you think could break out during the regular season. I feel like there's so many different guys that both these teams have acquired or have added to their team that have potential to be amazing. Like for me, I think Elijah Moore is going to be a guy that's going to be utilized in a ton of different ways in the backfield and the slot on the outside. I feel like they're going to look to get him the ball early and often, but that's just my opinion. And then for the Eagles, I think Nolan Smith is about to have a breakout season. I feel like he was so highly touted coming out of college, and I think there was a main reason why he went where he went. And I think he's going to have an incredible season as a starting linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. They also added Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham. Not the best linebackers in the world, but definitely add some depth to the team. But let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.